A skincare reel turned into questions Erin never actually raised. Katie's family-heavy Instagram feed reopened an uncomfortable debate about children becoming content. And Kaybrie may be showing there is another way to build a lifestyle presence around everyday life. Erin simply appeared on camera, and viewers started wondering why she looked different. Katie's critics went further, questioning not what had changed about her, but how much of Hailey and Harvey's childhood should keep appearing online. And then, Kaybrie quietly posted herself cleaning a bedroom and bathroom, proving that even the most ordinary routine can become content without a major family moment happening at all. It started with Erin appearing close to the camera in a skincare reel. Nothing in the post suggested a transformation reveal, but one Reddit user immediately wondered whether she had gotten cosmetic work done because her face looked different from what they remembered. The poster couldn't identify exactly what had changed, and that uncertainty became the discussion. Some viewers noticed that Erin's face appeared slimmer, particularly around her cheeks, while others simply agreed that she looked different without being able to explain why. What followed was actually more pushback than confirmation. Several commenters didn't think cosmetic work was the obvious answer at all, pointing instead to weight changes, aging, stress, and everything Erin's body has experienced over the years. Her previous serious health struggles also entered the conversation, with some suggesting that major physical experiences and recovery could naturally affect someone's appearance. One commenter who said they had experience around Botox and cosmetic treatments didn't see obvious signs of filler or Botox, while another felt Erin remained naturally beautiful and saw no reason to assume she had changed anything. Not every comment stayed that reasonable. Erin's hair and skin were picked apart. Comparisons with Kelly Jo appeared, and some people even dragged the family's finances into their theories about whether cosmetic procedures were likely. But none of those guesses answer the original question, and nothing in the reel confirms that Erin had anything done. What the thread really demonstrated was how little it takes for viewers to start searching for explanations once someone they have watched for years looks even slightly different. Erin shared skincare content, but the skincare quickly became irrelevant because the audience was more interested in studying the face underneath it. And that kind of scrutiny doesn't stop with appearance. If Erin's reel showed how closely viewers examine what changes on camera, the conversation surrounding Katie shows they are paying just as much attention to what keeps showing up on camera, specifically her children. A Reddit thread looked at Katie's recent Instagram grid and argued that she deserves the same criticism Carlin often receives because Hailey and Harvey have become such a visible part of her content. Pool days, trips, family activities, and ordinary moments with the kids appear throughout the feed, leading the original poster to question why Katie isn't being called out as aggressively as Carlin. It didn't take long for the conversation to grow beyond those two sisters. One commenter listed multiple Bates couples and argued that child-centered social media is hardly unique to Katie and Travis or Carlin and Evan. Josie and Kelton, Whitney and Zach, Tiffany and Lawson, Lydia and Trace, Alyssa and John, Erin and Chad, and others were pulled into the discussion, with the argument being that the amount may vary, but many members of the family now share their children as part of their public online lives. Suddenly, the question wasn't simply whether Katie deserved Carlin-level criticism. It was whether viewers have been applying different standards to people participating in essentially the same influencer culture. Katie still became the focus of some sharper examples. One commenter brought up an older moment when Travis took Hailey shopping late at night and questioned whether the timing might have been connected to producing branded content. There was no confirmation in the material that a sponsorship deadline caused the outing, but the suspicion itself shows how differently some viewers now interpret family posts once influencing becomes part of the equation. Something that could simply be a parent and child shopping together can immediately trigger questions about whether the camera was documenting the moment or whether the moment was being created because the camera needed something to document. Even Reddit couldn't completely agree on Katie and Carlin. One commenter argued that Carlin appears more deliberately focused on views and income, while Katie feels more like someone deeply immersed in the influencer version of motherhood. The opinion wasn't especially popular, but it revealed why this debate never has an easy answer. An Instagram feed can show that children appear frequently, but it can't automatically reveal the motivation behind every post. What one viewer sees as a family memory, another sees as content, and someone else sees as work. The thread eventually wandered into speculation about Katie and Travis's personal life, but those side conversations don't establish why Hailey and Harvey appear as often as they do. The bigger question is more interesting without them. Katie and many of her siblings grew up with their own childhoods being documented publicly, and now they're the adults holding the cameras. They get to decide which birthday, trip, pool day, funny comment, or ordinary afternoon becomes something thousands of strangers can watch. And perhaps that debate is exactly what makes Kaybrie's latest reel interesting by comparison. She is also taking everyday life and turning it into social media content, but there are no children carrying the video, no major family outing, and Warden doesn't need to be the focus either. Kaybrie found an entire reel in something as ordinary as cleaning the house on a Monday, packaging the routine into the familiar cozy rhythm of a reset with me. She starts in the bedroom, arranging decorative pillows over a floral quilt, fixing a pink throw blanket, and placing a decorative tray on the bench at the foot of the bed. Then, the reset moves from styling into chores as she dusts the wooden dresser, vacuums the rug, closes the blinds, switches on a candle warmer, and lights a candle. Nothing is dramatically messy beforehand, so there isn't some exaggerated transformation waiting at the end. The satisfaction comes from watching ordinary things slowly return to their places. The bathroom becomes the more serious half of the reset. Kaybrie clears makeup tools and a hairbrush from the vanity, gathers empty packaging, stores the hairdryer underneath the counter, and puts smaller skincare and cosmetic products into a cream pouch. She moves the illuminated makeup mirror out of the way, sprays and wipes the mirror and countertop, then returns a few essentials once everything is clean. From there, she clears products around the bathtub so it can be sprayed and scrubbed before moving on to the toilet. The decidedly less glamorous part of a reel, otherwise filled with floral bedding, beauty products, and candles. Naturally, the aesthetic returns for the ending. Kaybrie lights a vanilla and sea salt candle on the freshly cleaned vanity, the bathroom settles into warm lighting, and a routine involving dusting, vacuuming, organizing, scrubbing, and toilet cleaning suddenly looks peaceful enough to belong on a mood board. That is really the trick of the video. Nothing extraordinary happened, but Kaybrie made the ordinary satisfying to watch. And it also gives a clearer glimpse of the kind of content she can create independently. She doesn't need a Bates gathering or even Warden beside her to give the reel a story. Her home, routines, cleaning products, candles, beauty items, and personal aesthetic can carry the content themselves. One Monday reset doesn't prove she is pursuing some major influencer career, but it does show how naturally everyday married life can become material when the presentation is strong enough, which makes the contrast with Katie especially interesting. Both are turning ordinary life into something an audience can follow, but the subject at the center is completely different. Katie's critics are asking whether Hailey and Harvey have become too important to the content, while Kaybrie's reel shows how a creator can make herself, her home, and even a bathroom cleanup the entire story. Erin, meanwhile, barely needed to do anything beyond appear in front of the camera before viewers created a story around her anyway. Maybe that's the strangest part of all three updates. Once people are watching closely enough, a face, a family feed, or even a Monday cleaning routine can give them plenty to talk about.